So as you see, we are loaded. We got one piece, just a couple 100 pounds, some kind of sound box, something. It's we're taking it up to Detroit to some kind of haul or something, and we're supposed to be picking up a broken one. So obviously we're taking up a new one to replace the broken one, and then we're picking up the broken one and taking it from Detroit to Cleveland, Ohio tomorrow. So we'll be sitting in a good area tomorrow, around probably 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon. So almost definitely get another one tomorrow, which would be good because these last couple of days have not been shit. Delivered in Auburn, Alabama by noon on Monday. Didn't get shit. Tuesday, spent the first part of Tuesday, the early morning trying to get something. Couldn't get shit. Everything was just super cheap. So ended up just biting the bullet and taking off up to the Nasville area, and then that's where we are now. Got something first thing this morning, and we're off and running here in just a few minutes. It's 10:45 Central right now, so as I said, got this nice and early. Unfortunate thing is it doesn't deliver until 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, and there was a bit of a boo-boo made on this one. So posted, and this is something for everybody to be mindful of. You have to be very thorough when you're bidding stuff off of the load board, because on the load board it had it listed as only going to Detroit. They didn't have the reload going back. So bid it according to the Detroit, and now we'll try and see if we can get that last leg, something for that last leg or not, because it wasn't listed on the load board. But the unfortunate side is that when they asked, hey, are you okay with reloading in Cleveland tomorrow? And we said yes, and didn't put any additional money, because for whatever reason, brain fart, whatever, didn't think about it. So bid $650 for the 530 miles, and that's what was awarded, but then didn't put anything additional, so it ends up being 700 miles. And so $650 for 700 miles isn't that great, obviously. So be mindful, because I've mentioned it before. Other things they'll play too is you have to map the stuff out, because they're not going to be accurate on the mileage they put on there sometimes. They don't like to list DIMs, so be sure to send your DIMs in when they do it, so that something gets messed up, they can't say, well, oh, it was on there. I personally and my brother, we screenshot the loads most of the time when we book them. That way, if there's any discrepancies, and that's come into play before, I've talked about it in a prior video, they said one thing, and then when I said no and sent them a screenshot, this is what it was, then it came back with, oh, it was, we got a new employee and we're training them and blah, 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 you know, my bad. So just always be mindful and try and be on top of your game. We all slip every once in a while, so it's not gonna put us out of business or anything, but just something to be mindful of, because you're gonna make mistakes. Just deal with it, move on, and try to be a little better on the next one. So, all right, I got to get the okay on this, and then I'm out. Okay, guys. So update: we are at our drop in Detroit, Michigan, at this little amphitheater type place or whatever. The deal is, supposed to drop one off, pick one up here. Now on the BOL and the Raycon and everything, it just has 10 a.m. to drop off and to reload and head to Cleveland. So we've got the one piece unloaded, but the only guy that's here, he says that they used that piece of equipment last night and that they didn't break it down and all that good stuff. They didn't disconnect it and whatnot. So he's trying to get a hold of some people to come and disconnect it and get it down to us. So who knows how long that's going to be. Right now, it's 10:02. Hopefully, we're not going to be too awful long, because if this ends up sitting here for a few hours, a couple hours, few hours, whatever it may be, and then delivered to Cleveland, then it's late in the evening, it definitely makes it harder to get another load, which makes this load absolutely not worth it. So, the reason I'm bringing this all up is anytime you have a load that has showing a reload, those are always kind of worrisome. Sometimes they're just in and out, like it runs smoothly. Sometimes it does. Other times it can take forever, and what sounded good to begin with ends up not being shit, depending on how it works out. Now, it'd be different if like this is a reload and it had like 1,000 miles on it and I'm going to deliver it tomorrow morning, then that's different. But this is only basically 170, 180 miles going back down to Cleveland. So right now you're looking at about 3 or 4 hour drive to get down there. And right now puts me there early afternoon. Piece of cake. No doubt I'll get another load today. You add 2 or 3 hours of that, puts you later in the evening. Loads are a little more scarce, makes it more difficult. So hopefully this works out. They can get this out here to us in the next hour or two tops. Hopefully if we're out of here by noon, we're still in decent shape. Makes it a little more difficult, but still got a halfway decent chance. But always be mindful of those reloads. So on reloads, which we didn't do on this, and again, I won't even get into that, but anyhow, always be mindful on reloads. Get paid for it. Like, honestly. Because reloads, obviously each one has variables. You go to certain places, it's just a dead area. It's like, of course you're going to sit and wait for it. You're obviously going to sit and wait for it because you'd rather have a guaranteed load than have to go on the boards and try to bid something cheap. So that's one thing. But good freight lanes, normal freight lanes and whatnot, and you have a reload, charge pretty good for it. Add some extra money in there, an extra $100, $200, whatever you feel comfortable with, whatever you feel is going to be worth your time if it's the worst case scenario, because your time is valuable out here. Like, it ain't like, a couple hours. The difference between a couple hours, if you're waiting for a reload or waiting on a load and it dry runs, that's the whole thing about that. That's why, you want to be compensated decently for it, is because that's 2 hours or 1 hour or 3 hours or whatever that you don't get to bid another load. And that is extremely valuable, especially depending on the time of day. Like right now, this is a decent time of day to be bidding loads, because now loads are popping pretty good on the boards right now. So I could easily get a load out of here right now if I didn't have to wait for this. So same thing, vice versa. If I do get loaded with it and it ends up being later, then down there it's later in the day, and I just basically lost a day of good areas, because between Detroit or Cleveland, either one I'm at is a great freight area. So it's always frustrating to be waiting on something for something not to run smoothly, because you're always worried, like, man, if this don't go through, I just wasted all this time. Oh, and real quick, I'm sitting in an alley. I see a van back there pulling in behind another van. So yeah, I'm in an alley waiting to see if that guy can get a hold of anybody to get that thing disconnected and get us loaded up. So I will update you guys later when I have an update. So we're loaded. It is 12:38 p.m. We got an ETA of about 4 p.m. making it to Cleveland, so hopefully we'll have some time to book something. Hopefully something will get pre-booked by then. Just waiting for the broker to give me the good to go. I had to have another BOL sent because this place didn't have a BOL. I have blank BOLs, but they wanted to send me one of theirs, and I'm not going to take the time, stop and print it out. I'm going to just take the chance that they have a printer on the end that I'm sending it to, and they can print it out and we can take care of it on that end. So that's the update. Let me get off here, and hopefully these guys reply quickly so I can get rolling. All right guys, so we're dropped off. That was nice and quick and easy. It's 4:19 p.m. Was able to book one right about 5. No, actually, I think it was while I was there, right before I got there, but booked another one. We're going down to Murray, Kentucky for a 10 a.m. delivery. So we're just gassing up real quick and heading on down there to the pickup, and I'll update you later.